Okay, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to you Akim out there that has been pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This will be a Great Millstone quick lesson. Abba Ratazayu Akim out there will be edified. And with that, I'm going to get straight into these scriptures. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 3. The rich have great labor in gathering riches together. Yeah, who's the rich? Talking about, starting with the international bankers. We're not talking about Jeff Bezos, whatever his name is, the owner of Amazon. He has peanuts towards, when you compare in comparison to the international bankers such as the Rothschilds. They dealing with trillions. This dude dealing with billions. We're not talking about the Bill Gates. We're not talking about the Warren Buffetts. We're not talking about the what's this other guy named Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, the other guy, his name skips me. His name skips my mind right now. But all these low-level billionaires, we're not talking about that. We talk about that the Rothschilds are dealing with trillions, man, for their own banks. We talking about the banksters, man. Not they millions that they toss them billions. We talking about men that control banks, that lend to countries. It says, the rich have great labor in gathering riches together. Why? Because they go out throughout the four corners of the earth, pillaging, robbing, stealing, raping, taking from these countries, and they use their military force to do so. They use their economic hitmen to go up in there and disrupt their economy. They have these nations paying tribute, or in this modern day era, it's called taxing. But in all reality, it's a tribute. Right? They got their garrisons over there, and if they don't play ball with the international bankers, which are the IMF, International Monetary Fund, what is it? The Bank of International Settlements, if I'm saying it correctly. These people deal with lending to countries, lending to kings, so-called kings, because they are the true kings sitting on the throne. So they have no worry of nothing, man. It says, the rich have great labor in gathering riches together, and when he resteth, he is filled with his delicacies. When he rests and sit back and relax for a few, after he done pillaged and robbed multiple people, multiple nations, he sit back and relax for a few. When I mean a few, I'm talking about probably a month or so, if he now out there robbing and stealing, having his minions doing his work for him, while he's resting, enjoying the fruit of his labors. I got a precept real quick, then I'm going to go back to that in the book of Sirach. This is Job chapter 21, verse 7. Wherefore do the wicked, and we know who the wicked is, pursuant to Malachi, the 1st chapter, the 4th verse. We know that the earth was given to the hands of the wicked who run the earth. Esau, the so-called white man. So he's the wicked. It says, wherefore do the wicked live, become old, are mighty in power. That's the international bankers, man. They live enough old money. Money that goes back to the early 1700s, late 1600s. They live enough old money. It says, wherefore, back in Job 21, verse 7, wherefore do the wicked live, become old, are mighty in power. Amen. Showing you, man, that the international bankers run everything, man. It says, their seed, which is their children, is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of the Most High Yahweh upon them. Amen. Who the Most High chastises, those the Most High, that's incorrect, that's who the Most High love. But the Most High is allowing Esau to do all that wickedness. Why? Because his judgment is coming. His judgment is coming. I'm going to jump down to verse 12. They take the timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. They spend their days. They live to like about 100, 102 years old. Case in point, David Rockefeller. He lived to 102 years old. Then he went back to the spirit world. but they spend their days in wealth. I'm going to read it again. They spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave, man. Yeah, they go back to the spirit world. Not knowing that when you go back to the spirit world, you're going to receive your judgment. And your judgment is slavery. So you can see when you come back, you're going to come back as a perpetual slave in the kingdom of heaven. So you're enjoying all the fruit of your labors on this side, because this is your kingdom. And rightfully so. This is your kingdom. You're going to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But in the kingdom of the Most High, the kingdom of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, you're going to be a perpetual slave and you're going to suffer. Back in the book of Sirach, chapter 31, verse 3. The rich have great labor in gathering riches together, and when he resteth, he is filled with his delicacies. I just brought out how he's filled with his delicacies. He rests, and in a moment, he spent all his days in wealth, and in a moment, go down to the grave, which is the book of Job, the 21st chapter, the 13th verse. And it reads back in the book of Sirach, it says, the poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leaveth off, he is still needy. Hey man, talk about the men that work for these Edomites, man, for these different companies. When they get paid, man, after they pay all their bills, they still in need, man. They pay the full bill. Some men have to pay child support. If they have to pay child support, they paying their car notes, their rent, their food bill, their light bill, their phone bill, etc., etc., etc. And after when they finish, they still need, man. Unlike the international beggars, unlike the wealthy rich, man, who are the Edomites, who are the wicked, they could spend and don't even see it, man, that they don't waste $3 million in a day, $4 or $5 million in a day. If they don't see it, they don't feel it. It don't hurt their pockets, man. Because they have riches beyond your wildest dreams. They have riches beyond what you can imagine, man. It says, the poor laboreth in his poor state, and when he leave off, he is still needy. Hey, man, that's just plain and straight to the point, man. You could bust your ass for 7 days a week, man, without a day off. Receive that overtime pay, and guess what? It goes from your hand to the bill collector's hand. If you could save a few dollars, you could do so. But other than that, man, and even if you save a few dollars, something may come up where you got to spend that few dollars, and you're still in need, man. Like I said, unlike the international bankers, unlike the rich in this society who have their portion in this life, they don't have to think like that. They don't feel that way. They're not in dire straits the way the poor. And who's the poor? Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and low-level crackers, man, that they don't care about, man. It's all about who's in that club. It's all about the bloodline of the Illuminati, of the international bankers. If you're not a part of that bloodline, you going like the rest of the people. And that's just how it is. The rich is a small sect of men, a group of men. I'm talking about beyond your imagination, your wildest dreams, man. I'm not talking about a billionaire like Warren Buffett or what's the other name, Jeff Bezos, or the other guy. Keep on, his name escaped me right now, man. Them guys are set, but they not like the international bankers, man, who control banks, who lend to countries, man. When the poor man get his pay, which is peanuts, not even peanuts, crumbs. After he pay all his bills, he broke. He's still in need. He barely can make it through the week. And that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is. But hey, everything is going to turn around, man. We're at the end of Esau's rulership. And we see that Esau's empire is crumbling at a rapid rate, man. The infrastructure is crumbling. The economy is damn sure circling in the drain. We have uproars of the people. We're at the end of this thing, man. We're at the end of Esau's rulership. It tells you in the book of Second Ezra, which that 6 Second Ezra, let me get it real quick so I don't butcher it up. Second Ezra chapter 6 to 7 and 8. Real quick, let me just read it real quick. Because we're at the end of Esau's rulership, man. This devil ain't going to rule forever. He had an appointed time to rule. Now, there's that time, we're approaching this time, man. The Most High set bounds when Esau cannot pass, man. So his rulership is coming to an abrupt end, real quick. Yeah, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 8. It says, man, if I'm going to go to 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the part and asunder of the times, or when, let me read it again. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? Then, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. For Esau, and that's symbolic to Jake taking down Esau, man. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Show you that, hey, this prophecy is coming to pass, man, right before our eyes, man. And we will, in this generation, will see the destruction and the fall of Esau. The international bankers, started with the Rothschilds, then the Rockefellers and the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Lees, they're going to be the first fruits of slaves. Pursuant to what Ezekiel 39 and 14, they're going to be the first fruits of slaves. Pursuant to Isaiah, the 24th chapter, the 19th verse on down, when the Most High is going to punish the host of the high ones who are on high. Who are the high ones that are on high? These international bankers, man, and their minions. The rich in this society, the super rich in this society, the elites of Esau. This has been a great millstone to the point. Abba Ratazayu Akabati was edified, and with that, I'm going to say Shalom.